party. A send-off party. Jessica knew it was her last party at Stockholm University, where she had spent 2 years earning a master's degree in relations. Her charming dark eyes scrutinized the party hall.
All our friends were on the dance floor, dancing to the tune of bass hunters. All I ever wanted. Everyone was having a wonderful time. Jessica sighed. She had every reason to be happy. She wasn't. She had been in an incredulous state since morning. She didn't comprehend how things had turned out that way. Her stay in this Nordic country had been incredible, but she had wanted to return to the east coast of Africa, to Tanzania, where she was born and where she had hoped to put her knowledge into good use.
Now appeared her trip to Africa would be delayed for a few months.
For 2 years, she had lusted after, even fantasized about the young, very handsome but proud Dr. Karl, the son of an African man and a Swedish woman, who successfully carved his way through the Swedish educational system. At 28, he was already a senior lecturer in the Department of Political Science. International relations was his field of focus.
Many female students wanted him, including Jessica, but it was clear he didn't want any affinity between them, except the one they already had, a student-teacher relationship. He had no time for the girls' little pranks and games to get him into some kind of affinity. Maybe it was as a result of this that it became widespread on campus and beyond that he was proud, something that he was absolutely nonchalant about. As much as Jessica wanted to have led the girl with her, she had never approached him to confess her love.
She had assumed, maybe erroneously, that he understood her body language. It was an understatement to just say Jessica was beautiful. Her beauty was far above average beauty. She knew it and had, in many occasions, used it to communicate with the opposite sex and obtain whatever she wanted, even without saying it verbally. In Dr. Karl's situation, he had not seemed to notice her. She hated to admit it, but it was true. She had hated him for the simple fact that she could not get his love. As she sat there and watched her friends on the dance floor, her mind wandered to the activities earlier in the day. During the day, all students had defended their master's thesis. It was clear after the defense that Dr. Karl's assignment to review her paper and the consequences of it had brought Jessica's hatred for Dr. Karl to new heights. Her thesis had focused on war and its impacts on warring parties. She had asked a pertinent question: are wars really necessary in modern times? She had used Iraq, Afghanistan, and most recently, Libya, to send her message home. A message that called on warmongers across the globe to think twice before resorting to war as a means of resolving national and international conflicts.
Her paper, in her opinion, stood out when she compared it to other papers she had heard. But when the almighty Dr. Karl started to shred her paper into pieces, she had known there would be trouble. His review of her paper has centered on 3 important review areas:
comprehensibility, validity, and relevance. Was her thesis clear, explicable, and understandable? Were conclusions and statements well reasoned? Were questions, analysis, and conclusions suitable and applicable within the problem area of the research? Despite her paper's good points, Jessica felt her paper belonged to the garbage bin when the young lecturer finished his review. She didn't think she was up to the task, correcting her paper or writing another one. She didn't know where she'd start again. The idea of even looking at her paper again gave her a serious headache. Dr. Karl was just doing his job, but Jessica found it hard not to hate him. "I don't ever want to see him again," Jessica shouted. Just as all I ever wanted came to an end. Dancers waited for another song to play. Nothing was played. Instead, the MC came on the microphone. He looked around the hall. "Are you enjoying the party, ladies and gentlemen?" he shouted. "Oh yes, we are," a chorus shouted back. "Good. Today's your day. Enjoy it. We have a surprise for you. One of our lecturers just dedicated a special song to a very special student," he said and paused. Everyone became expectant. "Dr. Karl," he continued, "has dedicated Enrique Iglesias' Hero to Jessica Adila of the Department of Political Science. Everyone's invited to join them on the dance floor." At first, Jessica didn't believe what she had just heard. Everyone was smiling and clapping and looking at her. Before she even understood what was going on, a tall figure, dressed in a very diplomatic manner, in a dark blue suit and trousers, black shoes, white shirt, and a dark blue cravat. It was Dr. Karl, more enchanting than he had ever been.
"Let me be your hero," he told her. Before Jessica could say a word, he took her hand and gently guided her to the middle of the dance floor. No one joined them. Instead, everyone started to clap and shout as the music started to play. Jessica felt a fire inside her. Everything so far had thrown her off balance. She had been totally unprepared for this kind of thing. Reason why she decided to flee after the song came to an end.
"Thanks, Doctor," she told him and twisted out of his grasp. She hurriedly disappeared outside. Once outside, she decided to go straight home. Her apartment wasn't located close to school, but the main campus of Frascati was located not far from the underground railway station, the Universitetet metro station. There, she would use the red line back to Stockholm City. She started walking as fast as she could. "Jess, stop!" Someone called her. It was Dr. Karl. Then he ran up to her. Jess, where are you going? He asked in a very sexy voice. Home, Jessica told him. But why? I thought the evening was just starting. Did anyone hurt you? Did I hurt you by my actions? No, but I just wanted to be home. Okay, there was something I wanted to tell you. What is it, Dr. Karl? Please call me Karl. Jessica nodded.
Jess, I love you. I have loved you since I set my eyes on you. Give me a chance to love you, Jess. Give me a chance to love you in a way no one has ever done. Jessica heard as though it was a dream. She didn't believe in fairy tales, but what had just begun a few minutes ago was becoming one of those tales. First, a very romantic song dedicated by someone she had never had suspected.
She wanted to speak, but she felt her lips quavering, shaking. She turned away from him. He took a few steps closest to her. She felt his masculine presence, his warmth, and the smell of his cologne. It was a moonlit night with a star-filled sky. Jess, give me a chance, he started. I thought you didn't like me, Jessica told him. Like you? Why do you? You never had time for me. And then you destroyed my thesis this morning in a way I could never have imagined. Oh, that. It didn't mean I didn't like you. I was doing my job, remember? And despite the shortcomings, you produced one of the best theses. I read all the papers. It just depended on who reviewed the papers. When you've done the necessary corrections, your thesis may win the department's award for best thesis of the year. But we are not talking about like, are we? We're talking about love. Deep love. I love you, and I have always seen it in your eyes that you love me too. Do you love me, Jess? Jess turned and faced him again. Where have you been all this while? I've been trying to ensure that I don't let you know how much I love you, to protect both of us. But now that your studies are over, I could not wait to spill my love for you. Jess, I more than love you.
It was so nice to hear those words, especially from someone she had had a crush on for 2 long years. She looked up into his charming eyes. Her eyes were inviting, begging him to kiss her, to hold her in his arms, to make love to her. And as he placed his lips on hers and pulled her closest to him, she wondered how she'd been able to go along for such a long time without the guy of her dreams. I love you, Karl, more than you know I do. She found time in between kisses to confess her love for him under a beautiful Stockholm